A very good morning to all of you. Today I, Ruhi Kosar from Government Higher Secondary School Channi Himmat, is here to talk about a very important topic that is suicide. For the uninitiated, suicide is the second leading cause of death globally among 15 to 29 years old, and one person dies every 40 seconds from suicide. In fact, as per WHO, every year close to 8 lakh people take their own life, and there are many people who attempt suicide. These are hard, cold facts and painful examples of how much work we need to do as a society for suicide prevention. Our biggest failure as a society is the hush hush tone in which we talk about mental health conditions, including depression. In layman terms, going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or any mental health expert is still considered a taboo, as people go as far and beyond as calling them pagal. As if those living with tormenting mental health conditions are not already going through enough that now they have to plaster a happy face for the public because log kya kahenge. Suicide. Suicide is an irrational desire to die. We use the term irrational here because no matter how bad a person's life is, suicide is a permanent solution to what is nearly always a temporary problem. An overwhelming surge of emotions that never seems to end. That's what some who have attempted suicide try to describe to those who ask to understand why they feel the way they do. Suicide is a symptom and sign of serious depression. Depression is a treatable disorder, but often the treatment takes time, energy, and effort on the part of the person who is feeling depressed. People contemplating suicide or experiencing the depths of a severe depression need to know they are not alone. From teenagers to college students to the elderly people struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts need options, reassurance, hope, and help. Listen to that cry. Help if you can. I urge you to be kind to others. You cannot tell by looking at someone if they are struggling with suicidal thoughts. Everyone has some idea of what their ideal life looks like, whether it means affording to travel freely, coming home to your family, or spending time with your pets. But things are getting harder by the second. It can be nearly impossible just getting out of the bed in the morning. Why is it so much easier giving in to negativity than to get out of it? Depression doesn't just weigh down our shoulders, it lies, often telling us that we are not in control of our lives, but we are. Whatever you are going through, know that it is not always going to be like this. Number 1. Don't spend the night alone. When you are suicidal, it would be tempting to isolate yourself. Do you lock yourself in the room? Shut the blinds and hide underneath your covers? The thing about depression is that the darkness will welcome you, but this only makes you susceptible to believe your negative thoughts. Watch out for your safety and don't spend the night alone. Call up your family and friends and tell them how you are feeling. If possible, sleep over at their place is even better. Having company around can do wonders for you because it means keeping those bad thoughts at bay or allowing the new environment to boost your mood. Second, cut off all the ties with toxic people. If someone is abusing you physically or emotionally, please call the police for help. Realize that they are putting you in more pain than they are supporting you. Number 3. Make a list of your accomplishments. Hey you, yes you, look at how far you have come. Failure can seem like a big slap in the face, but when we obsess over perfection instead of focusing on what we have achieved, there's a difference. Striving for perfection doesn't allow you to be human. Embrace your flaws, failures, and downfalls as much as all the milestones you have reached. Listen closely to what isn't working. Turn those into lessons and grow resilient. Number 4. Practice positive mantras. These are otherwise known as coping statements. Ending your life will seem like the only option to end your misery, but nothing lasts forever. I will get through this. This is my depression talking, not me. I don't really want to die. I just want the pain to end. Stick these to your mirrors, fridge, and carry them wherever you go. Let them be a reminder to be kind to yourself. Number 5. Find a therapist. Most people shrug this idea off because they might not be able to afford it. But there are options, especially if you are a student. Talk to your teacher. An open mind is what will ultimately get you help. Call your family doctor if required. The more professional advice you receive, the faster you can work with it. Number 6. If it's urgent, please call the police or the suicide helpline number. Police won't necessarily stop your suicidal thoughts, but they will stop you from going with the act at that moment. And we hope you never have to resort to this, but want to remind you that help is only one call away. Number 7. Find out what's hurting you and make changes to it. Do you feel stuck at your dead-end job, or tired of the city you are living in, or not sure about what you are studying at the school? It's okay to address these problems. It's okay to address that you are feeling unhappy, but don't succumb to helplessness. If big projects seem intimidating, break them up into smaller tasks to make them more approachable. Remember, as you wait for your miracle, never stop working on yourself in the meantime. Number 8. Whatever you do, please don't lose hope. I know it's easier said than done, but committing suicide will end everything, including the amazing days ahead that you won't be alive for. People usually realize too late, while they are in middle of the act, that every problem they ever faced could have been fixed. So please, reconsider your health. You deserve so much more. What do you do to keep going or stay inspired? We want you to know that you are not alone, and we are sending our best wishes your way. For any help regarding this, please contact the counseling cell of Directorate of School Education or the telecounseling helpline number Aao Baat Kare, that is 60068 00068. Next, we will look into some important risk factors for suicide. Family history of suicide, previous suicide attempts, social isolation, economic hardship, mental health problems, alcohol and substance abuse, talking about or threatening suicide, looking for means to harm oneself, sudden changes in behavior or mood, following a painful event or loss. Suicide is preventable. There are strategies that prevent suicide by reducing risk and increasing protective factors. Number 1. Strengthen access and delivery of suicide care. Second, create protective environment. Third, promote connectedness. 4. Teach coping and problem-solving skills. 5. Identify and support people at risk. Lessen harms and prevent future risk. Number 7. Strengthen economic support. There is hope, there is help. Suicide is preventable. Why mental health awareness matters? If you look at suicides, most of them are connected to depression, and the mental health system fails them. It's so sad that we know what to do, we just don't do it. There is a great deal of stigma and taboo surrounding the topic of mental illness. This stigma is very damaging. Fear of being treated differently, fear of not being understood, and inability to speak to people. All this can be so damaging. Education and awareness are two ways to counter the stigma. Help break the silence. Those who are suffering from mental health problems should start talking, and people around them should pursue instead of making fun of it. We all have that phase when we feel it's over. But just remember, success is a lousy teacher. It's failure that makes us strong. Please, please, please be kind to your mind. I encourage everybody to spend few moments educating themselves and learning more about the signs and symptoms of mental illness. By doing so, you can help save a life, and it could even be your own.